Good morning, my super friends. Thank you for coming along. Let's start with a cough. No, let's not. Let's start with, I acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Whadjuk Noongar peoples. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and to Aboriginal elders and peoples from other communities who may be taking part in this live stream today. Hang on, why can't I quit that? I don't know. There is something weird going on with notes in macOS, which reminds me, I just saw a news item about macOS 15.1, I think it is, removing the option to run unsigned software. Now that is really, really bad. Yeah. I know for many typical macOS users, it is not going to be a thing, but for anyone who downloads third-party software or precompiled binary packages of open source software, if they don't have the proper Apple-approved signature on them, that's going to be a problem. It means I probably can't do a macOS update on my computer because so much of the stuff that I rely on falls into that category, falls into the forbidden category. So anyway, yes, that's a can of worms that could be opened and pursued and beaten with a stick. No. And the thing is that I really don't know the details of it.
Said, "You will use your Mac our way and like it."
You will use your Mac our way. Yeah, that's right. So I don't know how accurate that report is. So what I am responding to now is initial outrage posts, and I haven't looked at the technical aspects of what they're actually doing. My very limited understanding is that Apple is going to require software to be signed by a key which is part of the Apple developer program. So you have to pay like your $99 a year fee to be an approved Apple developer, and then you get your signing key and you can sign the packages, and then macOS will be able to run them. But if you're releasing, like if you're just a hobbyist who releases some open source project and you provide some precompiled binaries or something, you got to pay Apple to be able to distribute it and get it to run on the computer. Yeah, I do not like that at all. I do not like it, I say. And the other thing that's going on right now is, as many of you know, I'm a huge fan of the Last of Us series and of games, and there is a podcast that I've been listening to for years, which is like a totally obsessive breakdown, walkthrough discussion of the game. They've taken, I think it's 2.5 years to get through the first game, because every scene, every conversation gets analysed. And one of the hosts of the podcast right now is live streaming his first ever playthrough of some downloadable content for the first game. And I can't watch it. So, good morning to Wagon Loads, Mr. Fix-It, Michael. That was Michael Wise. Crispian, some call it fun. Scott, Gerald42, Stephen W. Mitch is here. Stephen George, David Howes, Emmy is here. Last week, Emmy was on a train, I think, during the live stream. Russell, Andrew Brown is here. So, good morning. Thank you all for coming along. So Michael just said, this is in reference to the macOS thing. With my cybersecurity hat on, it's great. With my nerd hat on, it's problematic. I 100% agree. It's conflicting needs and goals based on the users, and having I'm just wondering how to put this. How can I phrase this? having been the person who is often called upon to undo damage that has been done by people who install programs when they really shouldn't. Someone gets them on the phone and says, hi, it's so-and-so from Microsoft, and to help you fix a problem with your computer, we need you to install blah. And then, yes, bad things happen. Yes, from a cybersecurity point of view, potentially it's good, although of course the malware, would the malware end up just being signed anyway and then being runnable? And the thing is that the really bad things are the remote desktop programs, and they will definitely end up being signed and installable, so it doesn't protect against that. Wagon Lane says, yeah, your computer is sending error messages. Michael says, there are 2 Macs on my desk. Yeah, there are 2 on mine right now. There's the Mac Mini and my old PowerBook, which is currently doing the, doing the management of the stream. Michael says, the malware would be signed, but the keys can be revoked. Yeah, that's right. But the thing is that what happens with legitimate remote desktop software, which is the real problem, it's software that has legitimate uses for tech support, but yes, it is very problematic. So I don't know what is going to be the upshot of all of that, but the short version is potentially it sucks. It sucks a lot. What am I running? About this Mac. I am running Mac OS Sequoia 15.0.1. So I need to make sure I find out what the deal is before I update to 15.1. If I ever update to 15.1. There may be a workaround for that problem. I don't know. So, today, there were a couple of options for what we could do today. What I think I'm going to do is assemble the air quality sensor circuit board. This is, it's from a couple of months ago, and I kind of pushed it aside because of issues about the, okay, I'm going to open up Fusion. About potential problems with the pin assignments that I had made on the ESP32 and problems with PSRAM. So once Fusion is up and running, I'll put it up on this monitor and give you access in just a moment. Yeah, okay, so the thing, this is, I'll try to give the summary of it as much as I understand, and then hopefully people here in the chat can correct me and send me off on the correct path. Where are we? Superhouse projects, air quality sensor, AQS4. This is what we want. Okay, air quality sensor. Close that. Manage libraries. Okay. Do I have updates? Let's see. Update available. Yeah. Connectors update. Tinkercad. Why do I have a Tinkercad library? I don't know. One of the official libraries. Okay. So what have we got here? We have this AQS, TFT, yeah, okay. So the issue here is with these pins, I believe. So the crux of this problem is that we've got a display on the front of the air quality sensor, which is connected by SPI. All of those pins are assigned, they should be fine, that's no problem. Well, it shouldn't be a problem. The issue is that to use LVGL, which is the library that's commonly used for doing graphics on these little displays, it's really helpful to have PSRAM. And if you have PSRAM, then it can be used for storing stuff that's going to be shown on the display. So the LVGL library really likes PSRAM, and the issue is that there are possible pin conflicts here. So you can see, I can't even remember which ones. I think it's TDI, TMS, and maybe these SPI pins. I have a feeling that it might be the SPI pins that have the conflict. I can't remember. In any case, some of these pins have, where are we? IO26 is used by PSRAM on modules ending N4R2. Okay, IO26, where is that? IO26, yep, alright, so I'm not using that one anyway. But yeah, I can't remember which it is, but some of these pins are used by PSRAM. And so Austin, on a stream quite a while ago, made the very helpful, gave the very helpful feedback that what I need to do is make sure that I avoid the pins that are used by PSRAM. Otherwise, I'm going to have problems with LVGL
Austin's
trying to access it.
Creations said, should use different pins for RX. Texas, that way you aren't worried about buffer issues from boot info.
Buffer info is from boot info. Yeah, that is something else to
Scott
think
Miller
about.
said, is it just me or do the pin choices get more complicated with every ESP chip released?
Yeah, I think they do get more complicated. There are more gotchas. That's actually one of the reasons that I like the RP2040. It's the RP2040 has a whole lot of I/O, and there are almost no caveats on the pin allocations. It's just a whole bunch of I/O pins, and you can use any of them for anything, and it really doesn't matter. There aren't different boot modes and all that sort of stuff that you can have conflicts with. So, okay, now the version, what have I got here? I have, all right, you see here my note, it says IO26 is used by PSRAM on modules ending N4R2. So R2, the R2 refers to the PSRAM size. 2 is 2 megabit. And the modules that I have right here are ESP32 S3 Mini 1 N4R2. It is exactly that module. And so I definitely can't use pin 26, which is, I am wandering around. I'm totally failing to focus today. I'm sorry. The upshot of all of this is, if you have a module with 2 megabits of PSRAM, it runs that RAM in, I think it's single SPI mode, and it does not have pin conflicts. Or it might be double SPI mode, dual SPI, whatever the terminology is. If you have a module with 4 megabits of PSRAM, either 4 or 8, then it runs QSPI, like quad SPI, or once again, whatever that term is. And then it uses the external pins as part of its communication with its internal PSRAM, and therefore you can't use them. So here is the subtlety. If I use a module with 2 megabits of PSRAM, which is what I have right here, there are no pin conflicts. If I use a module with 4 or 8 megabits of PSRAM, there will be pin conflicts. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay to assemble this prototype and at least see if it works. So do some validation and yeah. Oh, Scott says, much as I find the RPi silly, the RP2040 is an awesome chip. Yeah, it is. It's a really cool microcontroller. Austin says, I'll take the S3 over the ESP32 any day though. Yeah, there are definite advantages to the S3, which is why I'm switching to it. The previous version of the air quality sensor had a regular ESP32 in it. So now I'm going for the S3. And Wayloads asked, is there an RP2040 that can be substituted for the ESP32? Not if we want Wi-Fi, because the RP2040, although there is Wi-Fi, I vaguely recall that there are RP2040 boards with Wi-Fi, but I don't think it's done in the RP2040 itself. I think it's done using some external device that communicates with the RP2040. Yes. Stephen W says, I love the IOMux. Yeah, that's right. Being able to just map functions to different pins wherever you want them is very cool. Yeah. Michael says Texas, lol. Yeah, it's funny that the text to speech said RX/Texas. TX.
Scott Miller said, RP2040 Wi-Fi boards often use an ESP for Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny. Because if you're building a board, why not just use the ESP as the microcontroller as well? I mean, there are reasons for having dual micros on the board. And I've done it plenty of times, but yeah, it does seem a bit strange going back to using an ESP32 as a Wi-Fi bridge for some other microcontroller. Yeah, so all of this is a very long-winded way of explaining that after putting those PCBs aside, they've been sitting on the shelf since that stream, I was thrown by the whole pin conflict thing. And then Sion called me and explained that situation with the pin assignments and the 3 different sizes of PS RAM on the modules. So I think I'm okay. Scott says ESP8285 for the Wi-Fi. Yeah, and then Scott went on to say the RP2040 does the heavy lifting. Yes. So ESP8285 is a variant of the ESP8266, but it has built-in flash memory. The original ESP8266 did not have flash memory. You'd have to put down the microcontroller and then a flash memory chip to be able to store your software in it. And the 8285 is the low-cost single-part solution. So if you're looking at a lot of the early Sonoff devices, they're actually ESP8285s. What am I doing? I'm just kind of talking and rambling now. Let's go to T-values. T-values. So there aren't very many parts to put down on this board. And I didn't even order a stencil with it because the stencil, I hate using stencils that aren't in frames. These days, I just can't stand it. So adding a stencil to the order would have cost a bunch of dollary dues. So I'm going to get out the old syringe and see how we go. There are 2 parts on this that are a bit of a pain to do by hand. The worst is this USB-C connector with these very fine pitch pads that are underneath the connector, and the other is the BME 680, which I'm not even sure if I have. I'm going to have to go for a bit of a hunt around, and this whole project has been on hold for so long. Hang on, I've got a cough, and maybe drink some coffee. Yeah, Michael says, I came here for the talking and the rambling. Yeah. The reason, there's a reason the thumbnail always has a squirrel. That's right, Scott. I need a squirrel on the screen now. The Superhouse logo up in the top right. That maybe I should add Steve to that. The funny thing is, that logo that you can see up in the top of the screen, I can't see that. It's an overlay that's being added by the ATEM to the video stream, and so I know it's there, but up the top right corner of my screen is actually clear. There's no logo. But I should add Steve to that, that little thing. Mute the mic. I did. I thought I muted it. Did I unmute?
Steve Steph.
Yes. Steve Steph. Yeah, all right. Where are they? Steph. Oh. Steve. There. You happy for another week? All right. I am going to do some camera switcheroonies. Also, I've been experimenting with a different nozzle on the syringe of solder paste, and I don't think I really like it. I may go back to the plastic one. I have been... Do I have a new one here? Oh, I do. So I have... Where can I put this so you can see it? Okay. So this is the steel tip. I've got one of these blue plastic tips, and I think these work better. This is a brand new one. One of the reasons that I switched to this is that this tip that I've been using for ages got kind of, I think it actually got melted. I did something stupid, like I was working on a project and assembling it. I remember what it was. I had a board on the hot plate and it was at reflow temperature, and I used the syringe to add a little bit of paste into one of the joints. I think it was like on a connector or something. I was trying to add some for mechanical strength, and the tip of the nozzle melted because it touched the hot surface. So I ended up switching to the steel tip, and it's not so good. But I'm going to start with it and see how it goes. If it turns out to really be bad, I've got this brand new plastic tip here, so I'll switch to this. And time to go microscopic, I believe. Let's see, what's our magnification looking like? Yeah, about there somewhere. Oh, it's out of focus for you. Where does it need to be in focus for you? There. That's borderline on the focus for me, and I'll try to improve this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I think it's in focus for both of us now. So now is the time that you'll start needing to use the text-to-speech, because I can't see the chat. Alright, I'm going to warm up with some nice easy parts, some big ones. Voltage regulator, 0805 caps. What's this? Fuse, must be a fuse. What's this one? These will be the charge mode, the charge current. Resistors, and then I'm going to get to the really sucky part. Look how small these connections are. These are horrible. I'm only going to put solder paste on the connections that I care about, because I'd want to minimize the chance of bridging. I really don't like these vertical USB-C connectors. I like them in terms of the options it gives for the orientation, but for assembly, they are really nasty. Alright, so, someone, tell me a story. What's been going on? Oh, okay. Since you can't talk to me, I will talk to you. Something sad has been happening with my car again. In fact, I might even show you a video in a moment. I've got it on my phone. It was at the mechanic for most of the week because I've had problems with the variable valve timing. And then, why is this solder paste looking so watery. It's like it's all
Once
carrier.
upon a time.
Yep, once upon a time. It's like it's all carrier with very few. Sorry, I'm fiddling over this part of this connector over and over again because this is not working out very well, this solder paste. It's like there's way too much flux and carrier in it and not enough of the actual solder.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Here we go. Story time has begun. Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, so it's got this problem.
Austin's_creations said, I think the nozzle is too small and not allowing balls to come out.
No, I don't think so. This is... yeah, this nozzle is actually a larger diameter than the plastic nozzle, which is one of the reasons that I don't like it. It's not as easy to control the flow accurately on small pads. I really don't like using syringes. I should have just paid the money and got the stencil. Even a, yeah. Once again, I'm only going to put solder on the pads I care about. Yeah, this is just not coming out. Okay, that's it. I'm switching to the other nozzle. This one I'm not happy with. I'll see if this one works any better.
Scott Miller said, did you leave the paste out, let it warm up too much?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's got a bit too warm. Yeah, with the this plastic tip, it's... why are there... oh, these are all ground pins. I see. It's along the front. I'm just going to smush a bunch on this. All of these pins are ground pins. And it doesn't even matter if I don't get them all. So I'll just smush a bit across. A couple more grounds. Bit on there will do. The what I've done previously with these plastic tips is used a syringe to shave the end down a little to reduce the thickness of the plastic around the nozzle, and it just gives you easier clearance when you're trying to get in, yeah, with pads that are quite close to each other. Almost. That's right, what was I saying? So I got the car back. There is this fault that comes up regularly, like quite a few times each day. Car goes into limp mode. I restart the ECU and then it's okay again for a while. And I got my car back on Friday. And yesterday I took a short drive from here just out to... I'm going to put more on. These are really horrible. I'm actually going to wipe some of that off and reapply the paste because it was doing weird stuff. Yeah, so went for a brief drive, and on the way back it suddenly started making like clanky noises and running badly and sounding a bit like a steam train. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to clean off that whole connector. Where's some IPA? Don't know. No, I'm not going to worry about IPA. I'll just wipe it and reapply the paste. So, yeah, I'm worried that if I drive it, so it still drives, but it's making this weird noise. And I'm worried that if I drive it, something seriously bad is going to happen. And I don't want to do more damage, so it's parked. And last night I got Tom to drop me, take me home. And then this morning I got an Uber into the office so I could do the live stream. I was going to walk, and then I just out of curiosity I pulled up the Uber app and got a price, and it was going to be $12 or something, and I thought $12 versus spending an hour walking, and at least I would get here more quickly and have more of a chance to be ready. So I just took the Uber. I took the lazy way out. What else? Have I missed any? Have I missed any that have actual connections on them? I don't think I do. Proper tips, cheap on Amazon. I just got a message from Tinker. Yeah, I should get proper tips. I've got a bunch of different tips in a box. I try to avoid using the syringe anyway. That's definitely a secondary thing. Most of the time it's stencils. This is unusual to just get a small number of boards like this with no stencil. Time for parts. What have I got here? Right, actually I'm going to, on my phone, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to make sure that my Dropbox is synced so that the video ends up on my computer. Can you hear that sound? Someone just left some rubber on the road. It wasn't right out the front though. It sounded like it was a block away or so. Now, what else do I need? Heaps of stuff. Alright, I'm going to switch back to the microscope. And where are we? There. There? I don't have a an automatic speech mode. I need to think while I'm talking. Hang on, let's get that out of the way. Seeing that reminds me, my my new oscilloscope should be here any day now. It's in transit. Tracking says that it has cleared customs. Now, values. Okay, a couple of 4K7s there, so I need pull-ups on the... I need pull-ups on I2C. There and there. I hope I do have a BME 680. I don't know for sure that I do. Alright, still syncing, but let's come back to here.
Ugh.
Ugh. Oh, Mr. Fixit said get a stencil made with common components on it. That doesn't really work. Michael says, my parcel which arrived on Friday is due this coming Monday. Yeah, there probably is buffering. I am getting an error in the YouTube app. So I think it's upstream. Like, I think it's pushing the data up that is buffering. It's not you, it's me. ASMR is a bit loud. Okay, where?
Austin's_creations said, what are you syncing about?
What am I thinking about? What I'm doing is just trying to find this video. Alright. Hang on, I'm going to bring this up and play So this was when I pulled up at the factory last night, and you'll hear what the what the car is doing. You hear that chugging noise? Sounds like a steam train. From somewhere down in there, it sounds like it's coming from the right-hand side of the engine. Well, the left when you're standing in front of it, but somewhere down the right-hand side of the engine, there is a chee noise. Not good. So I don't like the idea of driving and yeah, screwing the car up more. So right now it is going to be sitting in my driveway. And the thing is that this happened on the first day of what is effectively a 4-day weekend. Because we've got the public holiday on Tuesday and a lot of people take Monday off, so tomorrow. 5K1, 5K1, yep. I'm just looking at this again. Yeah, a lot of people take the Monday off, and the mechanic that I go to is going to be closed. I'm out of 5K1s. All right, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put on 5Ks. And hope nobody notices. Don't tell Raspberry Pi Foundation, okay? Promise. What else do I need on there? Oh, Xena protection. The TVSs, I need some things there. 10K up there. You can't see what I'm doing. There. So I need a 10K up there. So that's a 10K resistor in series with the blue LED, which seems like
Austin's_creations said, need to find that BME.
Need to find that BME. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Gerald42 asks, here comes the question.
Gerald42 said, what is the public holiday?
This is the funny thing. The public holiday is something that I think could only be a public holiday in Victoria, Australia, which is, it's a public holiday for a horse race. How ridiculous is that? It's like, oh, we want a public holiday. What can we do? What can we, use as the excuse? Oh, there's a horse race around that time. Let's have a public holiday for the horse race. Yeah. 10K? Oh, don't even have 10Ks. What about 9s? No. What about 8s? Yeah, 8 will do. Okay, I'm going to go for an 8K resistor on the blue power LED. It seems like it is a very high value, but the LEDs can be very bright and it can shine through the enclosure. What is that? 22K? Oh, that's just a pull up on the mode button, so who cares what the value is for that. What's this one? 22K? Oh, that's another pull up. Okay. So far, all I've got left is some decoupling caps, the module, and yeah, and an LED, and that's kind of it. So let's get to placing those parts. What'll I use for the miscellaneous pull-ups? I'm just going to grab 16K because that's what happens to be here, and it really doesn't matter. So I'll put a 16K on.
Miller said, we have public holidays because there's no other public holiday in the month.
Yeah. Needs to be an excuse. What's that one? Oh, that's just decoupling caps. Those are the protection Xenas. That's the fuse, more decoupling. Do I have an LED? Do I? I think I do. I mean, I've got reels of LEDs, but I have one loose. Where is it? There. Turn it around that way, put the anode to the left. let's go, I think that's all the resistors that need to go on. So, time for some caps. Also, I think I'm going to do this on the little mini hot plate. What do I have here? 10 microfarad. 10s will do. I expect 22 microfarad in the design, but I don't have any 22s right here on the bench, so I'm just going to put 10s on. Should be adequate just to see if the design works. What's that one? Oh, that's a decoupling cap on the BME. Oh, well, I've got this. I'll put another 10 up there as decoupling on the ESP. That one will be a 1 microfarad, which is on on the reset line. Where's 1 microfarad? Oh, I don't have any 1 microfarads. I don't have any 820s. How about a 680? Nope. How about a 470? Nope. Oh, I've got one. I've got 1 nanofarad in 0805. Yeah, why not? I can make it fit. There we go. 0805 part on an 0603 pad. What about there? What a 1 farad. Oh, actually no, it was meant to be 1 microfarad, not 1 nanofarad. But it'll probably do. Where are we? What do I have? I know I've got hundreds. I've got lots of 100 nanofarads. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go for 100 nanofarad instead. Get rid of that one. Put on 100 and down.
John needs to
here.
stock up.
Yeah, I do. I've got all of these parts on reels, but I don't necessarily have them in my little dispenser box with all the loose parts in it. So I need to pull some reels out and decant some parts into the box. I think the okay, so I need the TVS's to go on here. I need the BME 680, I need the USB-C connector, and a fuse. Alright, that's the fuses, the TVS's I should have here. And
space is a dispenser box.
yeah, that's right, Peter. I'll dispense your box. What else? What other stories are there to tell? When I'm doing these assembly type streams, I find it really hard to to talk through the stream because I end up just thinking about what I'm doing with the assembly, and then I forget to talk.
Peter Lawler said, "Get a Charm High PNP. Then you'll have lots of loose parts for the box."
Yeah. They won't be very well sorted though, Peter. They'll be just thrown all over the floor. If I wanted parts thrown on the floor, that's easily achieved. Connectors, because I need that vertical USB connector. I might as well get that while I'm nearby. If I have it. If I have it. I know I have some of them. Sorry, I'm pausing because I could hear a car outside. Vertical, yes. Vertical USB-C. I'm just wondering who would be pulling up at this time on a Sunday. It's possible that Tom will turn up. He's been, over the last few days, he's been very busily assembling boards for a client.
Creation said, "Don't worry, I make up for the time by doing long streams myself."
Yes, Austin does epic streams. Now, do I need any more caps? I don't believe I do. So I'll put my capacitors box away. And then I need to get a couple of things from the clean room. Ah, yeah, sorry, just listening to the car. No, I think that might have been the guy from the factory out the back, Alan, that some of you will have seen on a live stream a long time ago. Oh, BME 680, that's the other thing I need. Let's see if I have any of these, any of those in my sensors box. Accelerometer, temperature sensor, hall switch, current sensor, ADC, rotary encoder, current sensor. Yeah, you can tell what I use a lot of. I've got so many variations of ACS and INA type sensors. So analog temperature sensor, color sensor, no BME.
Right back to the viewer's tale of a 3-hour stream.
No BME 680s. Maybe in here, if I can't find a BME 680, that's okay. I will just assemble the rest of it. Or maybe there's one I can pull. Yeah, I might be able to float one off one of these other boards, but I will get to that last. That can be a late thing. Alright, so I need... Oh, I am so distractible today. I'm pausing to listen to what's going on outside. It's like, ooh, squirrel. Okay, so I need a fuse. I've already got the TVSs and the modules I have right here. So it is just, yeah, it is just the fuses. All right. Let's grab a fuse. I have these on a reel. I have several reels of these actually. I have a loose reel here, so I'm just going to pop one out. Someone made a comment and I didn't hear it. What was that comment? What was the say? Oh, look in the file box. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you, Scott. It may well be in the file box. That's the problem. That's the place I keep forgetting to look. All right, let's check the file box. What have I got in here? I really should go to the trouble of filing this. It's LEDs, ADS 1115 ADCs. What's that? TUSB, that's the USB hubs. DAC is the 12-bit DAC. Oh, the DAC. So I want to talk to you about this. Flash memory, RTC, Schmidt trigger. I don't know why I'm starting from the front because it's most likely to be way down the back somewhere. So I haven't used these for ages, maybe a couple of years. Variations of CAN transceivers, rectifiers, connectors. Oh, these are power LEDs for rack 32s. No, it looks like there are no BME 680s. Oh, what's that random little strip? No, that's not anything useful. No BME 680s in there. But that's alright, I can lift one off another module off an existing board. Now I'm going to put on the finally going to get to putting on the ESP. It's a totally unused strip. Yeah, I need wider tweezers. Maybe these ones will do. Maybe. Maybe. I'll check the alignment under the microscope. The thing I don't like about these mini modules is they're essentially like big QFNs. But at least with a QFN you can see the edge of the pad. With these, well, I suppose it's almost more like a BGA. It's just got pads totally underneath. There's nothing visible at all from the top. Alright, this is the USB socket. But before I do anything else, I'm going to source myself a BME.
John's assignment for this afternoon, file the parts.
Yeah, I should do that. The thing is that when I file things, I have this standardized way of doing it, which is like this. You can see there's a label on the top. It's got the name of so it's the part number, the package, a description, and then it's got a couple of barcodes, which are the part numbers at places like DigiKey, LCSC. Then there's the category of where it goes, and often I cut out the label from whoever the supplier was and stick it on the front because that can have more information. And then the parts will go into those bags. So just to prepare a bag takes a couple of minutes per thing, which is not too bad, but it's a burden. Like it's not a burden. It's it's friction, and therefore I often don't do it. I will just use the parts and put off doing anything about filing them properly. All right, so here is one of the previous prototypes, one of the early ones. This has got a CH340G on it. Which version is this? Oh, it's a version 2 board. And it has a BME 680 right there. So that is a possible donor board to swipe one from. I don't think I'm going to care. Ooh! Oh, look at this. I think this is even better. This is my first prototype. So this was done using modules and things. So there's it's like a D1 mini style module with an ESP32 on it. And then that is a connector to go to the particulate matter sensor. And then I've got a module here with a BME 680 on it. And some RGB LEDs. So it's all breadboarded. But what I can do is float the sensor off that module, which is probably better than taking it off the other prototype. Oh, and here's another prototype, which also has a sensor on it. This one's got the CP2104, I think, was the USB serial chip I used on that before I changed to the 2102N. Okay, I think this one is what I want to take the sensor from. Yeah, 680. Oh, you can't read that. Let's get some power on the hot plate, get some visibility on it. 24 volts we want. Let's go for 8 amps. Will do. And zoom right out on that. Let's get this where it can be seen. Zoom in a bit more. There we go. Yes. So dot is there, I think. So pin 1 goes that way. It looks like
John,
pin 1.
Don't let the BME escape when you float it off.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge. Alright, I'm going to start heating up this little hot plate. Here we go. So hot plate is warming up. Yeah, it looks like that is pin 1, but it's not. Or is it? Oh, which way around does it go? I'm going to move that out of the way while the hot plate is heating up. Okay, so pin 1. Do I have an indicator on this one? Pin 1, I think, is top right. Let's see on the design.
Austin_creations said, what module for the particulate sensor? ACA model number.
It is, oh yeah, that's pin 1 up there. It is a PMS7003 is the specific model, Austin, from Plantower, Plantower, which is, from a software point of view, I'm pretty sure it's compatible with the the 5 series. So there's the, where are we? Yeah, they made some mechanical changes. I think from the protocol point of view, it's the same. So there is the PM3 series, the 5 series, and the 7 series, and they're all pretty much compatible. So pin 1 top right. How are we going for temperature here? Not quite at reflow temperature yet. This is probably, oh no, here we go. All right, yeah, pin 1 marker was under the part. So I'm going to get rid of that and put it on here. Pin 1, rotate. Yes, I know the focus is totally wrong for you. And I'll move that up to there. All right, so that's where we're going with pin 1 in the top right corner, which means it goes that way. And it looks like pin 1 is in the bottom left, but it's actually in the top right, because the vent hole is diagonally opposite the pin 1 marking. And the only other thing to go in is the USB socket. So I'll put that in and chuck the whole thing on top of the hot plate. We might get to see it do some reflow if I can get the focus to the right point. Yeah, let's look around this area, because we'll be able to see from here what's going on. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. It'll be chooching soon. There we go. Is that focus all right? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So, hot plate is hot. PCB will be heating up. So, while that is happening, I'm going to slide over here. Oh, John Whips asked, did I miss the unboxing of a new oscilloscope? Sadly, no, not yet. It hasn't arrived. It's currently in transit. John said, how many squirrels in are we? And Scott says, fewer than expected. Yeah. Where are we? Just look up VMS placements in your keycode for the board you are looking at to see pin 1. Yeah. Yeah, I know the orientation of pin 1 on the PCB. It's the markings on the sensor itself that are the issue. So pin 1 is top right corner, right there. But the hole is in the bottom left corner. Johnny! Johnny, thank you very much for donating that membership. That's very generous of you. Here it comes. Thanks, Rick. Did you check your sparkies on that car? Jack's Tech asked. No. Johnny, thank you. The sparkies, are you talking about the spark plugs? I'm pretty sure it has integrated coil packs. But yeah, I'm not sure. I ended up replacing the coil packs on my M5, but on the N54 motor, I don't know. But I don't think it's related to that. Yeah, I don't think it's ignition related. Hello, I can't rule anything out. Hang on, let's get back to this. We might be about to miss it. It's actually taken a while to get up to temperature. I thought I would come back here and discover that it had already reflowed. But no. What I could do is hit it with a bit of hot air from above as well, just to help it along. But then I won't know whether the reflow has occurred under the ESP properly. So I'm going to rely on the heat of the hot plate to heat it from below. What else do we have going on here? Anything else reflowed? No. Nothing is reflowed. Well, maybe I'll just give it some gentle overall heat from above to help it along. Nah, I want to see it do it. I want to see the hot plate do the job. Dodge. Dodgy! Had a minor setback this week. Why? What happened? Mike Carden asked, busted Vanos unit. It is quite likely related to that. That's why the car was at the mechanic during the week. I've had the, yeah, they are, I'm trying to, it's been a long story, so I don't want to get into all the details. Okay, Vanos, yes, the Vanos solenoids have both been replaced. I actually did that myself because I thought that might have been the problem. Turns out that, and then I had the whole motor pulled down because it didn't solve the problem. And it turned out that the chain guide inside had totally disintegrated and there were bits of plastic sitting in the sump. Yeah, it was a mess inside. So the chain guide had broken off, fallen into pieces, and parts of it were getting jammed in the Vanos timing chain.
Plot twist. He accidentally unplugged the hot plate.
No, it still says that it's in heat mode. Just putting my hand over it to feel the heat coming off it. It says it's in heat mode. It's why? Oh, hang on. Ah. I looked at the power supply and it was pulling approximately 0 amps. So, yeah, the hot plate was turned off. It wasn't on earlier. I must have turned it off and thought that I had it turned on. The display on the front of it said heat. I could have been waiting a while. So, yeah, it's now at 140 degrees and climbing. Yeah, so the whole Vanos system got rebuilt. Also, the cam ledges were replaced. So it's got new cam ledges, well, relatively new now. The new timing chain, new guide, new Vanos solenoids, and the only part that hadn't been changed in the Vanos system was the cam on the timing chain. So that was actually what they replaced last week. So the timing cam, no, not the cam, the sprocket, sorry, the timing sprocket was replaced last week. And that's why I got the car back on Friday. And then Saturday, it went boom. Oh look, it's reflowing. Can you see it happening there? Just at the end of that fuse, it just went, and you can see it. Yes. I'm going to move this around a bit so we can see different parts of the board. Although the solder has not. Why is that repeating? The solder has not dispersed evenly across those pads. Those ones have reflowed. This is all reflowed. This is floating. Yep. If I push it down, you can see it. Little balls got ejected, so there must have been just a little bit too much solder under there. I guess the ESP is now currently sitting in molten solder. Not much I can do to tell if that's the case. That's reflowed. That's reflowed. Okay. I'm going to hit the cool down button. So it's now starting to cool down. And the USB socket right here, that's a mystery and an annoyance. Right, so it's so tempting. I want to get rid of these little solder balls, but the thing is that it's now cooling down, so I need to wait until it's finished cooling down before I start messing with it. The plate, oh, you can't quite see it there. It's glowing red. Then why can't you see it? That should be in the field of view of the camera, but it's just not picking it up. There is a red LED, right? Oh, you can see the glow there. That's the red warning LED saying that the plate is hot. So it's cooling, cooling. Should be cool enough now for me to lift this off the plate and just stick it on the bench somewhere while it cools down. Right, the temptation. It's so tempting to start messing with it, but I need to just let it sit there and not do anything, not disturb it. I'll let it cool while I come back to the chat. Oh, Tony asked, what model hot plate are you using? It is an MHP 50. Where's the microscope? MHP 50 is the model. Yeah, zoomed in on the microscope, you really can't see anything much. That's the little hot plate. Overheat. Ah, that's because I tilted it. You hear that alarm going off? It's got an accelerometer in it, so it knows if it's been tipped up. And that's in case you've got it hot and you put it down upside down. So if it is hot and you move it, the accelerometer complains, which is pretty cool actually. Pretty neat feature. So that's the MHP 50. There's also an MHP 40, I think it is. And the 40 and the 50 refer to the side length. So this is 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. And the other one, the MHP 40, is 40 by 40. This one has significantly more power though, which makes it much better for getting up to temperature in a reasonable time. I've heard people say that the smaller one is underpowered and it can cause problems when trying to follow some kind of a reasonable heating curve. Okay, well, it's hot, but not too hot. So we can try, what can we try? I don't know. We can try talking to the...
Michael Wise said, at Michael Wise.
We can try talking to the ESP, I guess. Hang on. I'm going to try looking underneath the chip with the microscope just to see.
Creations said, what size screen in pixels did you use for the AQS?
I believe it is 240 by 240. Let's switch back to this. Yeah, this is my problem, and my annoyance with these vertical USB-C connectors. Look where the pins are. Hang on, where's the screen? There it is. Okay, the pins are right underneath. They are physically under the connector, and it's almost impossible to get to them. And there is even this metal tab just here, which is coming down and obscuring. So we've got these mechanical mounting pins, plus this obscuring access to the bottom of the connector. And you can just see the ends of the pins there. But if that needed rework, there is no way you can get in there to rework that. It would be a take it off, clean up the solder paste, put it back on, try again situation. It's not a, it either works and you get it right, or it doesn't. And then you've got to take it off and do it again. So that is my problem with those particular vertical USB-C connectors. Now, step one, I suppose, is talking to the ESP and maybe seeing if we can talk to the BME. If there's some, I'm pretty sure there's some example BME code around the place somewhere. So it is time to go back to the computer, grab myself a USB cable. Hang on, I kind of got distracted earlier. Dodgy was talking about something bad that had happened. Ooh, we have a power LED that you can just barely see. So using a 6K8 resistor on the blue LED worked.
_creations said, I nearly have test code.
Ooh, you nearly have test code. For what? For the screen? I am nowhere near that. Or for the BME? I haven't put the connector on for that. So let's go with... Alright, step one is I'm going to... Where are we? See what code I already have. Firmware, because I do have code from previous stuff. That's the ESP32 version. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this and rename it, because I'm going to have to start hacking around on this ESP32S3. I'm going to have to start hacking around with pin assignments and stuff, and I just wanted to differentiate and keep my regular ESP32 version unchanged. Now,
Michael Wyatt says, throw another ESP on the Barbie.
Yeah, on the little hot plate Barbie, the micro Barbie. Stephen W. says, step one, jack up your car. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid having to get under it. I might have to. Broker. Yeah, I'm just looking at some stuff off screen and checking what I can reveal to you. I can't show you any of that. Like all my credentials are stored in here. But I can show you this. Okay, I think this is going to be safe. Alright, this is the bottom part of the config file. So I've got pin assignments here. I've got the BME 680's I2C address, and the main code shouldn't have any nasty stuff in it that I shouldn't be revealing.
Wahahahahaha.
Right. Yeah, I know. I should be using structs or something for this code, for storing all these values. So many repeated variables and things. So step one is I need to make sure...
Outside the box says, move.
Moo. No epic docs. Not yet. Alright, I've got to get rid of this stuff. Well, I don't have to. I could leave it there. Where is the... Alright, let's just do this. Board, LGTF. Yeah, I'm not using that one. ESP32, ESP32 S3 dev module. That will do the job. It was you, Crispian. Don't deny it. Or maybe Imi is speaking for you. Yes. Xeon is the one that moves. Okay, so we're now set up for an S32. What have I got? So CDC on boot I definitely want enabled because we want some serial console stuff. Flash size, flash mode, PS RAM. Okay, so we've got QSPI PS RAM, or we've got OPI PS RAM. So I just want OPI PS RAM, I believe. I may be wrong about that, but I think with the 2 megabit module, that's what I want. So JTAG disabled. Yeah, it's picked USB serial triple zero one. That all looks okay. I'm going to unplug it temporarily, and I just want to see if that USB serial device disappears. It does not. That is not a good sign. So what is that device? If I've got something else plugged in, where is it? It is...
Imi says who me.
I'm confused. I don't think I've got another device. Is OPI octal? I don't think so.
Imi says
Oh, maybe it is. Who me? Yeah. What do I have plugged in? I've got... I'll unplug that camera. I'll unplug that Leonardo. I've got nothing on the end of that cable. I don't know why this... Oh, no, maybe there is a programmer on the end of that USB extension. Let's see. Yes, there is. Okay, I'll get rid of that. That was a CP2102N device anyway. So this is not looking good.
Scott Miller says, yes you.
I've got... Plug it back in. I've got no serial port for the device. That is very sad. Oh. That means we've got to go into diagnostic mode. Yeah. I'm not even quite sure where to begin with this, but the first thing I'm going to do is just check the power rail, make sure there really is 3.3 volts. And let's see what it's doing. Yes, there really is 3.3 volts. Okay, so we have a good power rail. So one of the caveats with this is that I have never used these mini modules before.
Weaponized TTF.
Wagonload says, I always put device ID and serial.print statement so I know which one I'm pointed at. Yeah, that's a good idea, but we're not even going to get to the point of uploading code to it at the moment because it is not appearing as a device. It's not enumerating. Let's try... I just tried rotating. Ooh, that's interesting. We now have ESP32 dev module. All I did was rotate the USB-C cable.
TV says, where did this squirrel come from, you me?
Okay, I'm going to rotate the cable back. So this is swapping to the between the A and the B sides, and I'll see if it goes away. It does. So there is a fault in the assembly, I believe, on this USB-C connector. I'll rotate it again, and the port comes back. Yeah, okay. So this is exactly the problem, the annoyance that I have with these USB-C connectors. But at least we can get an upload happening now. Typo. Environmental sensor. Yeah, let's just test like a hello world type thing. Examples. Some kind of a serial comms thing. Before something that doesn't require any I/O at all, so that I can make sure that this thing is working. Let's go for 115,000.
Sorry, Jono, I'm having too much fun with TTS. Scott Miller said, one of the benefits of hand assembling first run boards piece by piece. I test as I go.
Yep. So let's try flashing it and we'll see what happens. I was getting a whole lot of invalid header messages popping up, which is not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Although that might be what is happening on the S3. Oh, OBS just died on my other laptop. Reopen. Without OBS running, I can't end the stream. So I need that. Blink sketch, yeah. I don't have an LED. I don't have an LED.
Underscore creations said, invalid header is normal for chips from factory.
Yeah. But why did it? Okay, I'm going to disable PSRAM just in case. We've got, I'm just going to check some settings. So we've got, let's decrease the upload speed because that can be a problem sometimes. CDC is enabled, so we'll get serial comms. And we'll see none of that should matter. Default schema flash should be 4. Flash mode, yeah, whatever. Port is gone. Why is the port gone? Oh, now it's back again.
Die OBS die.
Yeah. Screen projector. There. OBS is back. Let's see if we can upload this time.
Austin's underscore creations said, when flashing in USB, you have to put in download mode.
Okay. The first time, because it doesn't have the bootloader or anything on it. Yes. Okay, good point. I will grab my tweezers because I haven't actually soldered the boot mode button, etc. onto it yet. So mode is there. I've just put tweezers through the connections for the boot mode button, and port is gone again. Hopefully it'll come back. Now it's back. All right, upload. I didn't do the reset. Maybe I need to. All right, I'm going to reset it. Shorting those two. Okay, I think it's been reset now and it should be in bootloader mode. Connecting, yes, uploading. Thanks, Austin. Oops. Yeah, resetting via pin, but it won't because I have the tweezers still in position.
TV says, oops.
Aha, there we go. Look at that. We have the ASCII table output coming up on the console. So at least we are talking to the ESP and it is talking back to us. And we can flash it. Very nice. We have liftoff. We have not yet achieved orbit, but we have cleared the tower. Yeah, so ASCII table, I can get rid of that now. And now I can start thinking about yeah, I can start thinking about pinouts. So, mode button pin is on 0. Yes, that is unchanged. There's no WS2812 on it at all. So I need to look up these settings. Mostly MISO, clock, etc., reset, DC. What do we have? What do we have? We have, in fact, what I'll try to do is take that over to there, take that up there where it's visible, and for a while now I've had this itch on my neck, and I've been resisting scratching it because it's right near the microphone. But it is starting to drive me nuts to the point that I need to actually do something about it. Alright, so what have we got? DC pin is 16. 16. Alright, I've got to do something about it. So that means I've got to mute. Better. Relief. RST pin is 17. Chip select. Where is chip select? Is 21. Serial clock is 36. MISO is 37, but I don't know that it is actually used with the display. So this stuff is all for the display, which isn't even connected. Yep, I did. Mute and scratch. So MOSI is, where is it? Why can't I see it? Oh, 35. 35. So I2C, which we need for the BME 680. So SDA is 8. And SCL is 9. PMS baud rate, that'll do. PMS set pin, where are we? Set is 41. Reset is 42. RX is 43. TX is 44. 44. Yeah, here are some notes from a previous thing where TX and RX mysteriously got swapped. I have no idea how. That never happens. So 115, got all of that set. At some point I should put the display stuff in there. Yeah. Oh, this is the particulate matter sensor library. Well, not a library, it's just an object. So with the decoding stuff in it. Oh well, let's see. Let's see if we get anything useful at all out of this. Or if it's going to freak out. Is it even going to compile?
Isn't here to take blame for slow TTS. Plumber.
Yeah, that's true. Mitchell isn't here today. Why isn't Mitchell here today? Oh, okay. Of course it's going to freak out on that. Let's get rid of that. And there'll be other places. Where else is strip? Where else is strip referenced in the code? Oh, that's commented out. Yeah. Hopefully the rest of it's commented out. Oh, set color strip, TFT black. Set all to green. Don't want that. Set color. Yeah, that function. That can all go away. And hopefully that is it. Superhouse logo. Yeah, I don't think anything else will. We'll try to change colors on the LEDs. Next attempt. It'd be very nice to at least get some data coming back from the BME 680. That would be a nice win, having one sensor working at least. I don't know, yeah, I haven't even soldered in the connector for the particulate matter sensor yet, or for the display, but we'll get there. I want to see if this code will compile first. Stephen said, note, yawning is contagious over YouTube too. Uploading. Oh, it compiled. That's a start. All right. Let's see what it does and what it reports here. Ooh, look at this. Starting environmental sensor initialized. I don't know whether it's okay. Give me a console. Give me a console. Did it really connect? I'm not sure. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull this off the screen because I need to check the MQTT. Yeah, okay. It legitimately has the correct credentials in there. So let's, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it there. So I'm going to mosquito sub, but I'm going to have to do this in a way where you can't see. How am I going to do this? Oh, actually, I'll figure that out. You really need local DNS. Yeah. Okay, so minus V, and my host is, just for Scott, it is...
Said, John, you really need local DNS.
Yep. My, well, yeah. The name for my local broker is 192.168.1.185. So what I should do is, this would be evil, in DNS, set up zones for number extensions, so I could have a host of 192.168.1 in a zone of .185, and then I could type the IP address, and it would work either as a DNS lookup or as a direct IP address. So what? Sorry, I'm amusing myself with DNS again. Yeah, Michael says it's always DNS. I saw a little cartoon about DNS yesterday. I can't remember if I saved it. I have a feeling I did. All right, squirrel time. I'm going to have a very quick look and see whether I did in fact save the DNS. Not on my phone. It's possible that I saved it in here. I'm not going to put much time into looking for this. If I don't have it, obviously, then then I don't have it. I thought that I'd saved it though. No, it appears that I didn't. Oh well. What am I doing? I'm taking this long to type out a mosquito subscription, an MQTT sub, a mosquito sub. So what am I doing? I'm doing username, which I am not going to tell you, password, which I'm not going to tell you, and topic. What are we looking for? We're looking for anything in that range. So I'm going to do that / crosshatch, and that should be it. All right. Now I'm going to make this a whole lot bigger and bring it up here so that you can see it. Now, in theory, this should be publishing, what have we got? So Barrow VOC, etc., temperature, humidity, these come from the BME 680, and it'll be publishing to, yeah, this must be its own IP address. It'll be publishing readings to these topics. So hopefully I will be able to see if it publishes. But the question is, how often is it going to publish? All right, I'm going to pull this down off screen while I have a look. How often is it publishing? PMS report period 2 minutes. It may not be publishing at all if it's getting an error when trying to talk to the particulate matter sensor, which is not even plugged in right now. Okay, there is something else that we can do that would be useful. Let's do an I2C scan. Arduino. Bring this up here. And sketchbook. I2C scanner. I think this one. I think this one has the pins explicitly set. Yes. So what do we want? We want 8 and 9 as SDA and SCL. So I'll go 8 and 9. Wire.begin. Is it SDA SCL? I think is the syntax. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's just try uploading this and we'll see what happens. Has anything come up? No, nothing's been published. So I don't think it is actually working. Serial 3.
D in the ghetto said, "Hello everyone. Been a rough week without my dad."
Oh, yeah. It's going to take a period of adjustment. That's really rough. Yes, I know I could do a find replace, but I started doing this the brute force way, and now I'm committed to it, so I'm doubling down, and I'm going to manually edit every single one of these. Yeah, so yeah, so I think it was just, I think it's only been 8 days or so since your dad passed away. Unless I've got my my timeline screwed up, so it's gonna, yeah, it's not really long enough to have started to get your head around it and have the emotional adjustment yet. Yeah, I'm really feeling for you. I hope you're doing okay.
Austin's underscore creations said, "That should give you I2C scan and BME data on serial."
Ooh. Does... ooh. I2C device found at 76. That's a good start. So I believe hex 76 is the address of the oh come on, of the no, hang on, it says 77. Why is 77? So what is on 76? Did I screw up here somewhere? What is going on? All right, where is the sensor? Okay, so we've got CSB pulled up. There are no address pins. Yeah. Okay. I am slightly confused here. So we've got, we found a device at hex 76, and I think that can only be the BME. I wonder if I put a BME 280 on it instead of a 680. That would be kind of embarrassing. I don't know. Okay. And here we've got, oh, okay, no. We've got address 76 here in the code as well. So I think 76 is correct. Let's come back. Hang on, I'm going to just drop you into invisibility mode at the moment because I want to pull up Discord and see what I've got. Here we go. I've got a firmware.bin from Austin and recompiling for 76. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why it says 77 in the design. Okay. I will download the new firmware.bin. Does this go at hex address 10,000 when it's being uploaded like this? Downloads. I know you can't see anything that's going on right now. That's because I am doing my best to not dox myself. Alright, firmware. I'm going to rename that one AQS S3 Austin. And I'm going to move this up to here. And then I'm going to bring you back here, into here. So this is the binary that Austin just sent me. I just renamed it to firmware AQS S3 Austin.bin. And now, depending on address pin it's on. Oh, okay, so DIY said, I started to BME 680 myself recently. I love them. BME 680 has 2 addresses depending on address pin it's on. Okay, which is the address pin? Is it that, back to here, is it the CSB pin? So I've got CSB pulled high. VDD IO is pulled high, but that would be the reference voltage for VDD. Clock and data. Then we've got SDO, which is pulled low. Maybe it's the SDO pin? I don't know. Oh, it's so long since I've looked at the 680. This is literally like 4 years. It's so long gone from my brain. I just don't remember the specific meanings of the pins. Now, where were we? Back to here. Okay, so Austin has just sent me this binary, which I now need to upload. So, I'm going to... So what does this binary do, Austin? Is there anything I need to know? Anything I need to know? CDAQS firmware PM, it's the S3. Okay, so this binary here is the one to upload. Ah, DIY is here with the answer. Austin said,
connect SDO to VDD. Force the address to 0 by 77 by connecting SDO to VDD.
Aha, so that is the answer. So SDO here, which I've got pulled down to ground, will be setting it to hex address 76, but if we pull it up, then it would go to address 77. Yep, cool. So we can have 2 of them in the circuit. No worries. All right. Now, how do we... okay, so Austin says it should give you a printout showing the BME, then print out BME data every 2 seconds. Groovy. And now, ESP tool. I need to look up... I never remember the specific arguments for this. I always have to look them up. So, firmware... where is the PD releases. I am just looking up some cheat notes. Mark 2804. All right, so I think I need flash mode, board, port. I think I need something like this. Chip ESP32S3. Port will be dev TTY, yes. USB modem 21. It'll be that one. Then I should zoom this. All right, then I want board 921600. Before, not D4, before default reset, after hard reset, right flash -Z, flash mode. I don't know if I need to specify flash mode, etc. Flash size 4 megabytes. Now, where am I going to put the boot? Where am I going to load this? I think the address it needs to go into is hex 1000 if it's a single binary. Is that right? I don't know. I normally upload the split binaries. So let's just... Oh, hang on. I'm not going to be able to do that if the serial console is open. Well, let's just hit go and see. Nope. I screwed up. Okay, what have I got wrong? ESP32S3 is valid. Invalid choice after. Choose from load RAM. Okay, so after... Oh. How about that? Nope. Argument address file name must be... You know what I've done is... I passed it the name of the binary. How is it going to know what to upload when I don't tell it? Okay. It is doing something. Let's see. Let's open the serial console. Invalid image block, can't boot. Okay.
Austin's_creations said, I've linked a tool above that is faster FYI.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was the ESP home flasher. Okay, so this is the link. Forked from that. It's been deprecated in favor. Oh, okay. Let's go to that. ESP Web Tools. Starts it on the server. Oh, I don't want to have to install something just to do this. Alright, hang on, back to this. Maybe there was some other path I could have taken. For example, maybe here.
Creations said, I may have linked the wrong tool.
ESP device. Connect that. Failed to open serial port. Oh, maybe I've still got the... I do. I've still got the terminal open.
Creations said, I may have linked the wrong tool.
Yeah. That's okay. This one might work. Prepare for first use. Install. Choose file. Alright. Once again, I'm going to do this to minimize doxing potential. Superhouse projects. My Fitbit just complained that I've been sitting still for too long. Yes, I have. And that situation is not going to change, well, not for another 10 minutes at least. At least.
Sit right back, you'll hear a tale. A tale of a 3-hour stream.
It's not going to be a 3-hour stream. it can't be because I've got something that I have to go to. I have a commitment at 1:30 that I absolutely have to be at. Now, what am I doing? AQS. I totally lost track of what I was doing. Firmware, that. Okay, now I can bring you back into the fold. Alright, so I've selected that. Let's do install, and I'll see if this tool does it. So this is the tool for installing ESP Home. Hopefully it will work with this binary that Austin has provided. Tail over 3-hour stream. Yeah. This will take 2 minutes. Configuration installed. Hooray! Maybe. Let's try opening the serial terminal. Port is in use, did it say? Okay. Connected. Alright, so I've got to disconnect. Can I... Yep, disconnect. There we go. And now back to here. Now open the console. Attempting to boot anyway. Okay, so it is in a boot loop failure. Okay. That's not so good. Alright, I think what I might do... Oh, I've got serial 2 set here. Serial 2. There might be some screwing around that has to be done with that. Connecting to PMS. Done. Starting that. Done. It didn't say BME not found. It said it was initialized, so that must have worked. Topics. Mood. When it connects, maybe what I should do is have it published to MQTT just to say that, hey, I'm alive, and that way I know that it has actually connected at least. Henrik! You made it! You did. You knew you were going to do that, didn't you, Henrik? Update PMS readings. Okay, how about I just do some hackery in this code? So I'm going to disable the PMS stuff. Render screen is disabled anyway. Update environmental sensor readings. Render screen I don't care about. So where is update environmental sensor readings? Check mode button. No. Here we go. So sample for blah, sample time, read. Alright, so all it's doing is performing a reading. But then, when is it meant to be reporting to MQTT? Update PMS readings. No, I'll skip that. PMS data sleep. Where does it report to Here we go. Report to MQTT. Where is this being called from? So that's all the PMS readings. And here we've got the BME data. Report. Doing JSON format. Report to serial. Okay, so it should be reporting to serial. Where is this called from? This is this is code archaeology. Oh, report to MQTT, report to serial. That's only in the PMS processing. Let's take that out of there because I'm no longer even calling this function, and I'm just going to put this straight in loop.
Austin's _ creations said, just run the Adafruit example rather than hack your code.
Yeah, that's true. I can just do that. That would probably be the sensible thing to do. But for now, I am just going to try uploading this.
Austin's _ creations said, just run the Adafruit example rather than hack your code.
Yeah. Alright, so that while that's compiling, I'm going to have a look for the example. Come on, open the menu. Was I screwing it up by trying to open the menu while it was compiling and uploading? Uploading. Yeah, so it should start reporting. The example will need wire.begin. Yes, cool. Thank you, Austin. Oh, look at this. We're getting values. Partial success. Partial success. How often am I updating this? I'm going to bring this down very slowly. Seconds between updating sensor. That seems to be reporting far more quickly than every 5 seconds. But in any case, hang on, I'm going to close that. Get back to here. Turn off auto scroll so we can see what's going on. So what we've got is, we're getting 0 values off the particulate matter sensor, of course, but we are getting temperature 27.53, relative humidity 27. That seems very low, but it probably just hasn't stabilized. The other sensors that I've got in the room, oh, I can't, no, it's not up on the screen right now. Barometric pressure is low, 99,967 pascals. Ambient at pressure at sea level should be 101,325 pascals, I think. Something like that, I can't remember the exact number. VOC, so this is volatile organic compounds. I have no idea what this number represents. Altitude, 113.77 meters, which is approximately correct for where I am right now. So we are talking to the BME. We're getting values. Nice. So, and the code here, yeah, okay. So I think the next thing to do is for me to solder on the header for the particulate matter sensor, and then we might even start to be able to get values for that if I change the, oh, excuse me, if I re-enable update PMS readings and it successfully opens the serial port, which is going to potentially be an issue. Okay, okie dokie. Where is the header? Where is the connector? Oh, yeah. What have I got here? Okay, so I've got a PMS 7003. I will, so that's the 7003. Now where are the headers? I think oh, here we go. Well, here's a new 7003 with the header included in the bag, so how about I just grab that one out. Brand new 7003, and there is the header. Okay. Oh, unplug this. So this is the thing. Oh, I should probably fit reset buttons and stuff as well, but I want to see if the PMS works. What pitch is this? I think this might be 1.27 millimeter pitch on the header, which is very painfully small. So I am going to solder that under the microscope. Yes, it is annoyingly small for a header. How's that focus? And what do I need? Solder. Solder would help. And soldering iron. Soldering iron would help. Get the tip nice and clean. And no fume extractor running right now. Oh, yeah, I can definitely smell the fumes. Oh, it's a bit of a twist on that connector. I've got to try to get it straight. so that the PMS can sit straight. All right. There's very little clearance between the pads on this, but that's okay. We can manage. All right. So now the particulate matter sensor, there's its connector. I will plug in on here. Good choink. Aha, there we go. So now I can, I need to put some double-sided tape or something on it. You can see that it moves a little because it's only being supported by that tiny connector in the corner. But for now, this is enough for us to test. Now the question, of course, is which way around did I put the USB cable? Has it come back? Let's see if the port is there. Port? No. Okay. I'll turn the cable around. See if the port comes back. Yes, there it is. So we're getting no values off the PMS, of course, because I have not yet re-enabled it in the code. Oh, no, not that. I want that. There. That's where I was going. Okay, update PMS readings. I'm going to re-enable that. And I'm also going to come back down into that update PMS readings thing. No, I'm going to disable in loop. Where's loop? There. Because I've got report to MQTT, report to serial in loop, and it's also in the update PMS readings code. So that's how it is rate limiting its reporting, I think, based on my hazy memory of this very, very old code. All right, back to the chat. What's going on in chat? Damn, random clicking. Huh. Careful operating around the PMS switch. Just in the code needs to be home instead of Arduino. Sausage. Okay, so this is a very valid question. Sausage asked, quick question, how come you're not just doing the ESP code, doing the code in ESP home instead of Arduino? Everyone else probably knows, but I've just joined. No, it's a legitimate question, and I have not really discussed this. So, ooh, interesting. It is interesting that when the PMS is enabled, I do not get the loop happening with the reporting. Or maybe it's just the time, because it happens every couple of minutes. Maybe. I'm going to pull this down off out of visibility, just in case I disclose my network credentials again. Report period, seconds. Yes, Scott has a comment in relation to that. PMS warm-up period. So it's got a 30-second warm-up period. Report period. I'm going to say...
John hasn't graduated to Platform IO yet.
I'm going to say report period 10 seconds. Seconds between reports. So the report period is less than the warm-up period.
_creations said, you probably need to declare the serial bus as the especially doesn't have a dedicated serial for it to use with the PMS.
Yes. That is probably where the problem is. It'll be around the setup of that serial port. So let's have a look. What have I got? I have... Oops. Oi. No. Stupid window management doxed me. Oh well. If anybody sees that and wants to take advantage, they can. So where are we? And yes, one day I'll start putting credentials in flash memory instead of in the config file. Time check. What am I doing? That's right, serial ports. PMS, RX pin and TX pin, 43 and 44.
Time check.
So somewhere in here, where are we? It'll be near the start. We should be creating the serial, we should be initializing the serial port.
Henrik Ostrov said, how long the live goes for from now?
Not long. I'm going to be stopping very soon because I have to be in Burwood at 1:30. And as many of you will know, my car is currently out of order, which means I'm going to have to Uber it. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So I really can't afford to run much over today, or I could end up finding myself not getting there in time, which would be sad. All right, so this thing, what we're doing is passing through the serial2 object, but not initializing it anywhere here first. So Austin is correct. That will
Scott
be...
Miller said, I still have a spare app running for my UT61E because I haven't got around to reflashing John's code on it.
Oh, okay. So you got a whole spare AP just for that purpose. Yeah, so what we need to do here
Alexa,
is...
play Rick Ashley.
Henrik. Yeah, so I need to set up the serial object. So there'll be something like serial2.begin. What am I doing? 9600. Oh, I can get the values out of here. PMS baud rate and RX pin, TX pin. Is it TX RX or RX TX? I don't know. PMS RX, I think it's TX RX, TX pin, PMS RX pin. I am totally guessing here. So, serial baud rate, serial 8M1, COM RX, serial. Aha. I have, yes, Austin is very helpfully giving me the cheat.
It was worth a try.
Yeah, it was. So baud rate, then I want serial 8N1, so I'll stick that in as the second argument. Now the question is it the TX pin of the PMS, or is it the pin that we use to transmit to the PMS? So Austin's order is RX TX, but I don't know. So let's serial. Oh, I've got serial2.begin down here. Okay. Oh, I already had this, but I was doing it later in the code. RX pin and then TX pin. Okay. Serial 8M1, PMS baud rate, and then it is doing...
The confusing RX Texas pins.
Yeah, RX and Texas. Doesn't RX stand for something like something medicine related? Capital R and then a low X after it. Yeah, so I was already initializing the thing here in setup. Serial2.begin. Henrik! Here comes the music. After the membership. Serial2. Maybe it's not serial2. Yeah. We needed the Rickroll. Apothecary. Yes, that's what the RX stands for. Apothecary and Texas. Come on, TTS, catch up. Apothecary in Texas. Yeah, so we're passing the serial to object.
Texas.
Yeah, Apothecary in Texas. We're passing the serial to object in, and then initializing it down here before using the PMS.
Are the suns so short?
No, they're not that. They're cut short to, firstly, to not drive everybody crazy, and secondly, to try to avoid copyright strikes. RX is recipe in Latin. Oh, so that's where it comes from. The recipe being like the, if you are a compounding pharmacy and you mix up things to make medication, then there would be a recipe that you would follow. So RX is the recipe for the medicine. Okay. Austin said hardware serial and COM equals serial 2, then pass COM instead of serial 2. Hardware serial and a COM. Austin's doing all the work for me. Another one. Mr. Fix It. Mr. Fix It. So hardware serial and COM equals serial 2, and then we're going to pass in COM as that. There. PMS passed in the COM object. And where is serial 2? I don't have any pins to find. COM, is it right? I really feel like this is not right. So I've got serial 2.begin here. Yeah, I am not doing this the right way around. But seriously, I really do need to end this stream. Oh, that's you create a hardware serial device. Okay. I really do need to end this stream because in a little while I have, hang on, what is the time? So it's 12:12. I've got, yeah, to be on the safe side, I really do have to jump out. So I've got to follow up with the serial setup on that port. And then hopefully we will be able to get data back from the PMS.
Run, John, run.
And then the next step beyond that is the screen. So if the screen then works, then we are there. But yeah, so I am going to have to stop there. I'm going to save that. And thank you, Austin, for all of the pointers and helping fix my busted code. Yeah, at least we got the BME 680 working. We got a board assembled, we got a PMS on it. So the next thing is I just need to get that serial config working on the serial port working, talking to the PMS. And we're close. Sharky says hello and goodbye. You made it right at the end. Thank you everybody for watching over my shoulder, and I hope you have a fantastic week. I am going scuba diving with my sister tomorrow, so tomorrow is going to be a
Scott Miller said,
big exciting day.
John. Was fun.
Thanks, Scott.
Scott Miller said, run June, run.
And yeah, have an awesome week, and I will talk to you all really soon. Thanks. Bye.